Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Gina doing prompt 2 of Care December. I know, only day 2. I'm starting off in my journal once again. It's an A5 sketchbook and I taped off my book with masking tape and I've just used just China marker just to make some marks because, sometimes you don't know how to start a page, and I just made some marks. Care December, we're using pink this year. It's my first time doing it, but the theme this year is pink. And I'm just using a different red this time to mix some different types of pinks. And I'm just going to paint some on the page, and I'm going to use this spatula on some of it as well. This prompt is about talking about the romance of pink. And not just the lovey-dovey type of romance, but about the quiet softness and, just the calmness of pink. It's about the quiet poetry of everyday life, the little details that make life beautiful. When I listened to the prompt, those things stuck out to me. The little details that make life beautiful, because not every day, but a lot of the times I try to remember the little things that make life beautiful for me. And 2 of those things are leaves. Oh my gosh, I just love leaves. And, I guess nature, but specifically leaves and plants. Just looking at the textures and the colors and just marveling at how they're so resilient. And they just, they die, but they come back. And also the way they breeze and the wind move through the trees and how the leaves dance and the sounds that they make when they connect with each other. I just think it's fantastic. And another thing that connected with me from the prompt was something that makes life beautiful for me is lighting a scented candle. And it's everything about it for me. It's when I strike the match, the sound that it makes and the light that comes, the flame that comes from the match. And then when I light the wick, the sound that makes and how it builds. It starts from a small ember and then it bursts into a nice flame. And then because I have to tilt my own to light it. And then when it just, the flame stands, and then because there are breezes, there are gentle breezes, even if I can't feel it. And when those gentle breezes come, the way that the flame moves and flickers, it's all those things about the candle. And then when you start to see the wax melting in a small circle, and then the small circle spreads to a bigger and bigger liquid circle until the whole ring of the circle on top, the surface is melted, and then the scent. Oh my gosh. Well, I know everybody's preference for the scents are different. So, just imagine whatever scent you like when you light a scented candle. And then that scent just filling up the entire room, and eventually the house. Oh my gosh. So yeah, those little things just make me so happy. So while I was doing this page, I was thinking of those things, but more so the leaves. So I gathered some leaves, and because it's pink, I thought green and pink could go well together as well. And I was wondering if to leave the leaves as they were. I have some dried leaves. I was wondering if to leave them as they were, or if I should, just kind of help them blend in more with the page. I wasn't sure. So, but for the meantime, I'm just trying to get my colors on the page, making my marks. The 2 on top is only those 2 on top I use the spatula for, because they make a different kind of mark. And for the bottom 2, I used only the brush and of course the China marker on all of them. But the brush gives a softer, they give softer strokes and a softer look, whereas with the spatula, it because I use the brush as well, there is some softness, but there's sharpness because of the spatula, which I really like. So for this bottom corner one, I'm going to try and make some prints using the leaf. That was not my intention, but because the leaf, I felt that it has such high ridges, I thought I could try and get some nice prints on the page. But they didn't turn out the way I really wanted. But I still tried. I wasn't really pleased with how the white turned out. It was barely visible and, the impression wasn't great. So I thought, okay, let me try and overlay it with a darker print and see if it will show up more and see if I like it better. And it should help highlight the white one that I did. But when I pulled it off, it wasn't what I expected. So I was disappointed, to say the least. So I thought, okay, let me use the other side of the leaf because they have some ridges too. So let me use that side and see how that one turns out. And I thought I would go in with a lighter color over top of the darker pink. And I thought, okay, maybe that could show up. So I'm going to try that and see how that looks. So it was okay. Again, not what I wanted. Then I thought, okay, let me layer the leaf itself over top of everything, so that'll be the focal point. And I don't know, I was just trying to figure out what to do. So the page, that one started to kind of frustrate me a bit. So I just pulled out my tiny container with my leaves and I decided to just try and see what could fit on the other areas that I have blocked off. Then I thought, I think I maybe want to leave it as is and I'll just coat it with a layer of Mod Podge, and then that will give it some shine and help it to be a little more sturdy so it will last longer. It wouldn't dry, it wouldn't become very brittle in the book. And I forgot that I had paint on it, so it actually gave the leaf a little color as well. And I was like, do I actually like this? I don't know. So I just started painting the others and, I said, okay, maybe they could have a little tinge of pink because the page is pink and just having a tiny tinge of it could help it tie into the page a little more. And then I was also wondering if I should put some green somewhere on the page, on the quadrants. But I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, I'm just going to leave it so. Because, yes, this is CareDecember, but I'm trying to keep it simple for me and not make it too complicated. And the smaller I get, usually when I do smaller pieces, it usually turns out more complicated and I usually take really long on the smaller ones. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave it like that. We already have the black lines in the background from the pencil, and I'll just leave it like that. This leaf I decided to maybe try it. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it yet, but I liked that it had some paint on it. And here they are dried. Some of them are tinted. I really like how they feel and how they look. Look at this one with the tint. Well, this one actually has paint on it. But I like how it looks. I really, really like how it looks. So cool. So I'm going to get them situated and try and figure out how to place them and if I should add some more stuff in the background. I thought I had enough leaves, but I feel like something went wrong. So I'm going to pull out another leaf. I forgot that the leaf I had on the bottom left was the one that I had on the right. So I thought I was missing a leaf, but I wasn't really. So I'm going to just add some Mod Podge to these two new ones I'm going to pull out here. I love the pattern of these. I love it. And I wanted to paint it and add a tint of color, but still be able to see the pattern of the leaf through it. So, gonna work on that. So while that's drying, I'm going to try and get some of these stuck down. Just trying to figure out which one I think is best suited for which page and try and get them in the correct places. With this one, I thought maybe it needed an outline because it was kind of blending into the page. So I thought, okay, I'll just outline it. And then I started to put in the veins of the leaf. Then I was thinking, I'm not really going to see it. And then I didn't like seeing the veins poking out from behind it. I didn't like how it looked at all. So I kind of got annoyed with myself. So I was like, okay, let's outline the other leaves behind and see if that will help. So I'm doing that now. I'm using the foodie ball pen to do it. And I'm trying to decide if I like it. So then I thought the front leaf isn't really standing out anymore. So I'm using the brush to just kind of fill in those spaces between the veins so that they can stand out. And it would become the focal point, and it will look like it's laying on top of all the rest of the leaves. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm adding some splatters because I just love them, and I just ended up using the tip of the brush as well to add some thicker dots to help it stand out some more. And then yeah, I thought, I was like, you know what, let me leave that for a while and see if I want to come back to it later and add anything to it later. And for these, I decided to just glue them down as is. Don't put anything, no other color on the page. And I'm just going to get my leaves glued down to the pages now, to the page. But this one, I couldn't decide how I wanted the leaves. I really wanted the small one in the middle of the bigger one. But it wasn't really standing out, and I didn't want to do too much more to the leaves. I feel like I could revisit this though. Not this particular page, but just this idea on another page. And eventually I made up my mind as to which side I wanted to use, because I loved both sides actually, and I didn't want to stick down and cover up one side. But it took me a while to finally decide to just glue it down. And yeah, I really like this page because I love leaves. I really like this page. And then now this is me just taking off the excess paint and adding it to some book pages. And the plan was just to save the paint, but while I was doing it, I was thinking, hey, I could use it in future prompts because it's pink, right? So I'm excited. So now I'm done. I'm just removing the tape. I'm going to show you some close-ups of my page. And let me know what you think. Which quadrant you like better? I love how they look. I just love the leaves. I need to start gathering some more. But thank you so much, as always, for watching. I really appreciate you joining me. I hope it has been encouraging you to create as well. And I look forward to hearing you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!